Well, hello. I'm going to guess that you're probably looking at a trip to Japan. I mean, why else would you click on a video titled 21-Day Itinerary in Japan? And so, my name is Brandon, and I am currently halfway through my series, 42 Days in Japan. And so I figured this halfway point was a good time to tell you the first half of our itinerary. So why 21 days though? Well, of the many trips to Japan that I've done, I find 1 week is just never enough. 2 weeks, that's getting pretty close, but 3 weeks is about the right itinerary for the average vacation in Japan. And so this is going to be broken down into the first half of our trip, which is the Golden Route. Now, if you're on your first trip to Japan, you may not know what the Golden Route is, but that usually involves some version of Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka. You're probably going to go prioritize going to old temples and big city stuff, and that's cool. But those are also going to be where all the tourists are, which goes to the root of the problem, over-tourism that you always hear about in Japan, right? And so, who is this itinerary for? Well, primarily it's going to be for families who have children under the ages of 10. It's kind of catered to their interests more. But it's also for adults who may just like to get off the tourist route and go to places that don't have a lot of tourists. And so on the average day, we may have seen 15 tourists a day on this trip, which is actually high for us. Usually we see 1 tourist per week. That's fine though, people are dispersing a little bit. So if you are that type of person who enjoys seeing few tourists, this trip is mostly for you, with the exceptions of Disneyland, Hakone, and Kyoto, which we included for various reasons. I don't think anybody actually even lives in Kyoto. I think it's just all tourists that just go there. Despite that though, let's take a look and see where we went on our 21 days in Japan and see if it's right for you. Okay, well, day one's always going to be your travel day, so no matter where you're coming from, you're going to spend that day on a plane, unless you live in China or Korea. Lucky you. So we started our trip from Portland, Oregon, transferred over to Seattle, and then flew over to Haneda Airport. And we spent our first few nights in Shinagawa, which is right next to Haneda Airport. Now, day 2 is our first real day, and we got kind of a soft start. And so we got up pretty early, nothing was open. And so we started off at a playground down the street. They're always open, right? After that, we headed to Heiwa no Mori, which means the peaceful forest, and this is kind of a fun little obstacle course. And then we finished off our day at the Shinagawa aquarium. Now for day 3, we went to Tokyo Disneyland. It was a pretty hot 100-degree day, but we survived somehow. On day 4, our plans kind of fell apart and we got separated on the trains, so we ended up spending most of our day at Cocoon City in Saitama prefecture. Here we went shopping, spent some time at Bornelund, which is fun for kids, and then went to a cat cafe next door. It's not a bad way to spend a day, and they've got air conditioning. Now, day 5, we went to the Railway Museum. This is located near Omiya Station in Saitama Prefecture. Whether or not you're a train fan, you'll have a lot of fun here. There's a lot of simulators you can drive. They got lots of old trains to look at, and the best part is you can drive a miniature train.
Alright, which way are you going? Going to the station. What? Oh, you gotta brake to the station limit. It'll let people off. There's no one there. Oh, it's really fast.
Yeah, I better slow down. Slow down. Put it forward. Put it forward, all the way forward. Brakes over here. Day 6 is spent at Kawagoe. This is an old Edo town, which is famous for candied sweet potatoes. Here we got to make our own chopsticks and look at a lot of cool old buildings. Afterwards, we caught a bus to Ageo Station and went to Round 1 Gaming Center. We honestly could have spent the whole day there since they had about everything fun you could imagine. For day 7, we packed our bags and headed to Yokohama. Most of the things I wanted to do today were actually closed, my bad, and so we spent the day shopping at the Red Brick Warehouse. And for day 8, we headed to Kamakura. But before that, we stopped at the Hamagin Space and Science Center, which is a great way to keep your kids entertained. We looked around Kamachi-dori and then made our way to the Great Buddha statue. Afterwards, we ended up at the beach. On day 9, we made our way to Yokosuka. This is a famous port town and home of the U.S. Naval Base. I mostly came here to look at the Battleship Mikasa, though. But before leaving town, I had to try out the famous Navy burger. For day 10, we backtracked and did things I tried to do on day 7 because they were closed, such as the Nippon Maru. And checked out the North Korean Spyship Museum. The family was too tired for day 11, so I canceled our plans and we just stayed local. We went to some arcades, sang karaoke, and had some yakiniku. Because who can say no to yakiniku? For day 12, we packed our bags and headed for Hakone. Then our taxi driver got lost, and we wandered through the forest looking for dinner. We ended up having a very authentic ochazuke.
How years old? 1 year. Oh, yeah. Brother? Oh, お姉ちゃんは10歳. Japanese? Okay. 何をでも大丈夫. Take it from the top.
100% certain this is the way to the bus stop. Don't worry, the only poisonous bugs are the ones that crawl on you. And got to enjoy our private onsen at night. It wasn't a bad day, really. This water's really hot. But just remember, the golden rule is we don't look down. Now, day 13 was the cliche Hakone experience. That's the ropeway to Owakudani and the famous pirate-themed sailing boats. The only problem was Google Maps gave us bad directions to breakfast, and we spent an hour walking upstairs with a stroller.
We're literally in a volcano.
Choo choo! Chugga 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 chugga. Choo choo! Chugga 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 chugga.
For day 14, we were bound for Nagoya. Before we left, though, we stopped at Unisun, which is the famous hot spring resort, where we got to try all the various themed baths. Sake, coffee, wine baths, green tea. I also challenged myself to the how far can I walk in hot water bath. 46 degrees Celsius. It's a little warm. Not bad. Hot. Now, day 15 was a pretty busy day. We started off locally across the street from our hotel at Inuyama Retro Avenue. This is an old castle town that you can shop around. Here I got to try Shateki for the first time, which is an arcade shooting game. Look at this, it's so hot. Somebody's shoe melted off. Huh. Afterwards, we made our way to Meiji-mura. This is an open-air museum where they preserve old Meiji-era buildings that you can still see today. Around 5 o'clock and pressed for time, we made our way to our cormorant fishing experience. And this I highly recommend. Day 16 was another pack and leave day, but before leaving town, we stopped and looked at Inuyama Castle. On the way down from Inuyama Castle, don't forget to stop at Sanko Inari Shrine. It's kind of famous for love, but that's okay. Now, at the end of our day, we arrived at the Everglades at Lake Biwa. This is a glamping resort that kind of recreates the experience you might have in, say, Florida. We went canoeing, played games, tried bingo, had barbecue, and watched a magnificent thunderstorm. Well, we're supposed to be in Florida. I think there's a hurricane coming. Been some thunder and lightning. It's also a short walk to Lake Biwa, which has a real Hawaiian feel. Day 18 is another transit day for us, and we played around at Lake Biwa some more before transferring to Kyoto. Here we had some drama when I got left behind on the trains again. I found myself yet again alone with all the family's luggage. So I'm hauling their bags up the stairs and they jump on the train and then the door's closed. And so I'm here with no internet. It's all good. I'll just catch the next train, be about a half hour behind them. Whatever. And we didn't arrive at our hotel until nighttime. Oh well. On day 19, we did the Hosogawa riverboats. This isn't really a secret anymore, but it's worth it, and I recommend you do it at least once.
Passenger number 111, 113, 114, 117, please come to the boarding point B.
この先ね、両サイド水引きます。Electrical splash. Both sides green seat. Water gun. Okay. 引きますよ。3, 2, 1. Let's go! Oh wow! Oh my god! Let's go, let's go! Yeah! See! Okay! One more! はい、ちょっとここね、ベリーシャロー。ちょっと揺れますからね。ちょっと揺れます。OK、ベリーシャロー。ビッグストーン。ネームエアズロー。してあげてくださいよ。いけるかな、マジで。挟まんのはやめてな。Alright, get out! Good job! Nice car, Captain! Go, go! 当たった、当たった！
把钱给我耶！把钱给我。
朝日ビアドリンク交換。アクリルとオロナミンください。はい、余裕。
By day 20, we were tired of the heat, so we packed our bags and headed for Osaka early. Then we spent the first half of our day at Kids Plaza Osaka, mostly because they have air conditioning. This is another fun science center where the kids will never be bored. Then at nighttime, we went for another round of karaoke, just to pass the time. And on day 21, we went to Osaka Aquarium. It's always worth a visit, and you know what? It's also air conditioned. Now, throughout Japan, you'll see these giant Ferris wheels. Those are observation wheels. They take forever to go around in a circle, and at the top, you're guaranteed a magnificent view. Now, I shouldn't really talk about day 22, but our flight was later in the evening, and so we're going to include this in case yours is too. We went to the Big Bang Osaka, which is another fun science center for kids. Here they've got a dress-up area where you can pretend that you're in the Showa era, and they've got some prehistoric themed play areas as well.
We only have that stuff. Omocha. And that stuff. It's a retro toy store.
Oh. Oh, boomerang.
Boomerang.
Well, that's it for our first 21 days. Make sure to catch the next 21 days and watch the series, 42 Days in Japan. We're heading to Shikoku next. That's our hometown. And well, if you enjoyed what you just saw, let me please ask that you actually watch the whole series. There's 21 episodes currently out, and I think you'll enjoy every one of them. Thanks for watching.